How's it going, everyone? Amish Dancer here, and just a short little video. I wanted to touch on a subject um, that was important to me. So, just a couple days ago, the XL Horde mode came out for World War Z, and a lot of people have been talking about the new mode, weighing in their thoughts and opinions, things they like about it, whatever. Anywhere you look online, that's all people are talking about when it comes to this game. So something they kind of, I shouldn't say snuck in because it was announced along with the EXO Horde mode update. It just didn't get any of the attention that the rest of the update got. Was that they were quote unquote revamping the weapon leveling progression. So what that looks like now, if you are familiar with the game, if you played it before, um, so the menus are completely different. That's nothing. That's no big change. Whatever. But what they did was they changed the way the weapons level. They also added perks that require, you know, various different things to complete in order to unlock the ability to purchase and equip. And that's cool. That's fine. That's well and dandy. They added new weapon skins. That's awesome. Free content's always good content. But, and this is a big but, if you notice over here now where it says, you know, the weapon variant, the weapon name, semi-auto, full auto, silenced, semi-auto, semi-auto silenced, burst fire, full auto, silenced. That's the thing that I want to address. That's the thing that I've been talking about with people on Steam. Um, it was, like I said, it was something that didn't get a lot of attention, but it's really important to the game. Now I'll explain that to you. So, if you have played it or if you have even heard of this game before, you have some vague idea of what this game is. It's a co-op zombie wave shooter. The waves of zombies, the hordes of zombies are very massive, very dense, and sound is a major component of the game. You can hit a car, they'll set off an alarm. You can blow something up, that'll set off the horde. And you'll get rushed by a crap ton of zombies. Why is that important? Because up until you get to various points in the various different campaigns, stealth is a major component of the game. There are a few instances where there are massive amounts of zombies that you can completely bypass if you're quiet. But on the whole, just like Left 4 Dead, because a lot of people say, this is another one of those games that is a Left 4 Dead clone, just like in Left 4 Dead. If you shoot a car, you set off the horde, you get rushed. It's like the game penalizing you for it. So with almost all of the weapons now not being silenced, that's a big issue. Um, and let me show you. So with the classes, now Gunslinger used to be one of the cheesy classes that I like to use. This is basically me playing on easy mode. I run the AK and I run the machine pistol as starting weapons. So right from the get-go, I'm pretty set as weapons. I don't need to track down anything. I don't start with the crappy machine pistol or silenced SMG. But now my AK is not silenced. My machine pistol is not silenced. So aside from horde mode, this class, unless I handicap myself, use the default pistol and the default silenced SMG, it's not good. It's just not good. These are dead perks to me. And what a lot of people were saying on Steam was, there were people going back and forth. Oh my God, this is terrible. Other people are like, you guys are dumb. You just gotta enable the suppressor. It's more of a cosmetic thing. So let's go to the scout rifle. Not a single variant has a suppressor. Let's go to the pistol. Something that says silenced. Now on this weapon, you can either enable or disable the suppressor, and it is just a cosmetic thing, so the game claims anyway. But you won't see that on these other weapons. Shotgun used to be suppressed. There's no option for enabling, disabling suppressor there. The AK used to be suppressed. No option there. So this is a big issue with the game because it disrupts the flow of the game. It kind of breaks the formula. It breaks the recipe that they had. And another thing that nobody's really talking about, another thing that's really big with weapon leveling, is before it was just XP based, which you can see now. It's XP plus the in-game currency that you earn from completing chapters in the story, that you earn from completing waves in Horde mode. So, if you played Horde mode for, I don't know, let's say you played a lengthy game, you played for a whole hour, hour and a half, you'd be rewarded for that. You would earn a fat chunk of not just in-game currency to go towards your classes, but you'd earn a bunch of XP towards your class, a bunch of XP towards your weapons, depending on what weapons you use. Now, what this incentivized and encouraged me to do in Horde mode, especially, was step out of my comfort zone and use weapons that I don't normally use. But now, because of this, because you can only level it from the menu, you realistically only earn one level per match. So why would I go play Horde mode for an hour and a half and only level up my weapon one time because I have to come back to this menu in order to spend the points to level it up to the next level when I can just run through on, episode 1 New York over and over and over again on easy and just level it up that way? Well, on the flip side of that, this is how they balance people from doing that. So, yeah, I could get the experience on easy mode to level up my weapon, but again, this is another big fat but. Let's go to something, let's see, classic bulk up. I use this a lot. So to get that from level 8 to level 9, I need 850 experience, no problem. I need 1,500 credits. So, depending on the difficulty you play on, depends on how many points are rewarded. On easy, you only get 250 points. So that means to level this weapon up one time, I would have to basically play on easy 6 missions to level it one time. Or I could play Horde mode for an hour and a half and only level it one time. So there's no win with this new weapon leveling progression. They kept classes the same. So you're an XP, you unlock perks you can buy. That's fine, that's all good. But like I said, with this weapon leveling, again, it de-incentivizes people to play these longer, lengthier, harder modes. There was a sense of pride and accomplishment and true feeling of progression by playing Horde mode. It was kind of like a high risk, high reward kind of thing, because just coming out of the last mission that I did, or last game of Horde mode, I took my medic class from level 7 all the way up to 18, going on 19. Just from one match of Horde mode. And that also used to reflect in the weapons as well. I would level my weapons, 3 to 4 times in a really good match of Horde mode. And that just doesn't happen anymore. Something I've noticed online now is people will drop into Horde mode for a little bit, and then they'll just back out of the match. So if you're still in the match, you're pretty much screwed, because now you got a bot with you that can't buy supplies, that doesn't offer anything out of just being, a walking gun. They're not an effective teammate. And I've noticed that happen a lot now, is because people will drop in, get their experience, get their points, and get the hell out. So I feel like this was all just an unnecessary reinvention of the wheel, and I think there is a million one ways they could have handled this differently if they wanted to revamp the weapon progression system. And it's one of the things, oh god, you never want to compare to, because nobody wants to ever make the comparison, but I feel like Call of Duty handled this perfectly years ago. You want to run a suppressor? That is awesome, good for you, but if you're running a suppressor, you're going to take a debuff to your accuracy or range, and a debuff to damage. Whereas if you don't want to run a suppressor, you'll get that range or accuracy or whatever, and you'll do slightly more damage. So if you want to, and I feel like that would work perfectly here. If you want to be tactical, awesome. But your accuracy is going to take a hit, and your effective range will take a hit, and your damage will take a small penalty. Whereas if you want to be loud and proud, good for you. You're getting the biggest bang for your buck, but you're going to have a lot of angry zombies and a lot of angry teammates. I feel like that would just make more sense. Or, and this is, just stuff I've spitballed with people talking about this topic on Steam. What the hell? Why not do what Metal Gear Solid has done for years, where, especially on like higher difficulties, so primary weapons have a limited suppressor, and they can only be resupplied, restocked at ammo boxes. It would I don't think it would hinder the moment-to-moment gameplay, and I feel like it would add that extra level of tactical, if you want to use that word, because you couldn't just spray and pray. You couldn't just go in guns blazing open season on zombies. You would have to be more methodical about picking and choosing, am I just going to go with my sidearm? Am I going to use my primary? But I can't use my primary too much, because if I wear out the suppressor, I can't effectively use it without alerting the horde, That, to me, sounds like interesting rebalancing and game design change. But this, no, this isn't it. Now, unfortunately, with the reset, my weapons are not high enough level for me to check what the perks change. Maybe there is a perk that adds a suppressor to these weapons. I don't know. But the fact that, by and large, the majority of these weapons from the get-go don't have a suppressed variant, that was another thing before, going back to the previous iteration of weapon customization. You could still see the layout of it. Like, you could still see what they were going for before. So you'd pick a weapon, then you'd have a branching unlock tree. One would be suppressed, one wouldn't be suppressed, one would have higher damage output, one would have some other way of balancing it, I don't know, better accuracy, better handling, whatever. But that's how it was before. was one would be suppressed, one wouldn't be suppressed, and you could pick and choose. Do you want to be stealthy? Do you want to be loud and proud? You know what I mean? Like, and that's just gone now. So realistically, this doesn't affect anything hardly anymore. And before, this is just a little nitpick of mine. You know, if you hover over the different variants of the different unlocked versions of the weapon through the weapon progression, it would show you its effects on the stats. The only way to see that now is to go back and view it here. So, I don't know. It's just, it's an unnecessary change. Why can't I hover over the different versions to see what stats it's affecting and what I like the best and what I don't want to use? And, you know, it just makes more sense. But again, just an unnecessary reinvention of the wheel and something that not a lot of people were talking about. And I hope more people that enjoy this game bring attention to it. There's still a decent amount of people that play this game. It still has its own following, its own community. And like I said, not a whole lot of people were talking about it. A lot of people just kind of dismissed it without looking further into it. But I think this is an issue that should be talked about for anybody that enjoys this game, anybody that's interested in playing this game at some point in the future, or whatever. But anyhow, thanks for listening to me ramble. I am the Amish Dancer, and whatever time you're watching this, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care.